Hey everyone, today we've got an unboxing from KewbzUK. So here we have the new GAN 356i V2. Okay, so in here we have the cube itself, the charger, which is new, pamphlet, and we also have this, which I believe will have a charging cable in. Okay, so we've got a secondary GAN bag that looks a little bit different to the blue one here. Kind of black design, so a different sort of grippy texture. And then yes, we do have the charging cable, along with some extra springs. You can swap them out if you want to change the strength of the springs in the cube. As for the rest of the stuff in here, we've got a little card and another pamphlet. Okay, so take it this is going to need charging, so I'll get into first impressions and then I'll talk about the app and the virtual features of this cube later. So this looks and feels very similar to pretty much every other GAN cube apart from the centre gaps. Got a slightly frosted design, a bit like the GAN XS and the original GAN I. Doesn't feel too kind of slippy or frosted though, it's quite light. So yeah, let's get into some first ends. So immediately it feels very, very soft and smooth. You can definitely feel the magnets. They kind of click a little bit as well. I don't know if they're glued in place or just kind of held in these little capsules here. You can't swap out the magnet capsules still. So you're stuck with one strength, but I think the strength is nice enough. It's not an exceptionally fast cube out of the box. A little bit on the slower side compared to other flagships, but then again, this sort of isn't trying to be your main. It's smart cube, couldn't use it at competitions anyway. But I do like the feel of it, very, very soft, very typical kind of GAN cube feel. But inside here you can see the mechanism. It does come with a bit of lube in there already from the factory. But the mechanism does look very different to other cubes. I'll just see if we can take a piece out here. There you go, that edge looks very, very strange. And that corner as well, compared to other cubes. You see it's got the ball core there, which I take it has something to do with the electronics that are inside it. So you can see it has got a GS nut in there, and it looks like it's adjustable in a similar fashion to the GAN XS, I believe it is, where you've got the numbers. So you can see here we've got 0.6, then that one, which I presume is what you'd use to take it out as a number, and then we've got 0.8 there. I don't believe I've got a tool on me, but I'll try to find one. So you can definitely take out this nut, and then as we've got the extra springs in here, you'll be able to take out the GS nut and then put the springs in the GS nut to change the spring strength. So it's a bit more faff than the normal GS nuts, but I don't really mind as I'm not going to be swapping these out extremely frequently. So I'm going to get this charging, I'll download the app and we'll go over that. So let's get into the review section of this video. Starting off with the hardware, the cube is very nice, as expected. It has a signature smooth and soft GAN feel, with excellent corner cutting and a nice set of shades. The magnets are on the lighter side, and I like that. The plastic has a slight matte effect to it, but I don't mind it, and it hasn't affected the grip I have on the cube at all. Now those features are the same as the V1, but if you look a bit closer, there are some very useful changes with the V2. For added customizability and precision, a numerical IPG tensioning system has been added. There are 3 modes on this cube, 0.8, 0.6, and an option to remove the spring. This makes sure the tensions will always be even, and it eliminates the need for a screwdriver. You can swap out the springs with the 2 included ones. The bronze coloured set is stronger and makes the cube slower and more stable, whereas the silver ones are softer and make the cube more flexible and fast. I like the stock ones on 0.8 the best, as they provide a good middle ground between the two, but it is of course down to personal preference. However, while the system is an improvement over the V1, it is by no means perfect. I found it quite fiddly to adjust the tensions, and when the springs are removed, I've had them ping out and fly across my room. I've added silicone compound 5 for lube to mine, to make it nice and smooth feeling.
You can add any lube you want to the core or pieces, I believe, as long as you do not apply it directly to the yellow side, as the charging mechanism is there. Talking of charging, the dock is very sleek and will fit well into many areas. It has a light to indicate when it has power, and it connects via micro USB. A cable is included, but it is a little short. There is seemingly no way to see how charged the cube is, but the cube itself does have a light to show when it's charging and connecting, which I find very useful. The dock has rubber feet to stop it from sliding, but the dock itself is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. The cube charges with the yellow side facing down, and does so quicker than the V1, a big plus. It also claims to have a much longer battery, another advantage over the V1.
I put it on charge when I'm not using it. I've never had it run out of charge, and it's never even come close. I'm going on holiday next week, and I'll see how long it'll last without charging when I come back. I'll leave a pinned comment of what happened below.
At the moment, there are two ways you can utilise the smart feature of this cube that I know of: CS Timer and the GAN Cube Station app. Starting off with CS Timer, you can connect it by setting the Bluetooth input option, and then waking up the cube by doing U, then U prime, and selecting it when it comes up as an option. You can then do solves as normal, only using the cube to time you. On the screen you can see the cube move as you turn it, with some delay. When you finish a solve, you can see your turns and TPS, which I find very interesting. For each solve, you can also find an al.cubing.net reconstruction that CS Timer generates by clicking on the solve and then review. While these features are very useful, the cube only works with CS Timer around 70% of the time, as sometimes when scrambling or solving the cube displayed is not what I have in my hands, so none of the features will work and I have to pair the cube again. This unfortunately means I can't really do more than 10 or so solves on this cube with CS Timer. I'm not sure what the issue is here, but if it is CS Timer, then hopefully these issues get fixed in a future update. For most people, the Cube Station app will be the main draw though, due to it being specifically designed for the cube and its plethora of features. These are all the same as a normal GAN eye, of course, but in case you don't know of them, I'll go over them now. Firstly, we have AI teaching. This is where you go through some story. It's a bit strange, I haven't really given it a try. There's an AI solve option where the app tells you how to solve the cube when it's scrambled. The personal training section is where you can time your solves using a scramble from the app or your own. It also allows you to practice angles on them, but only F12, OLL and PL angles. Finally, there is the online battle section.
This is by far my favourite. You're able to race with friends and other people online. The matchmaking isn't perfect, but considering there aren't many people with this cube, I'm fairly impressed by how speedy the matching is, and how similar my ability is to the people I race. I currently have a win rate of 57%, so it not being massively high or low, I feel, shows that it's pretty good. If you want to add me on the friends section, I'm on there as Tom the Cuber, with the same spelling and formatting as my YouTube channel name. On each mode it gives you some stats so you can get a full breakdown of your solution, providing you're using CFOP, which is very useful and I like it a lot.
One major downside for some people will be that the Cube Station app only allows for a solution breakdown when using CFOP. If you use another method like Rue or Petrus, then a lot of the functionality of this cube will end up not being very useful. Should you buy it? I think it depends on your situation. If you've had the first GAN eye, then it's not really worth the upgrade, but if you want a top tier smart cube and are wondering what to get, this is the best. I believe it will be only a few pounds more expensive than the original eye, and I would say that increase is worth it if you currently have neither cube. I was in the camp of people that think that smart cubes were a bit gimmicky, but after getting this I've changed. I really like it and the online battles are very fun. I don't think this is the best value smart cube though. The GAN eye Play is nearly half the price, and while it's missing a few features such as the gyroscope, it functions very similarly, so I'd say that the Play's best value is it costs so much less, despite missing features.
Thanks for watching.